here's my take on the S.A.F.S Super Armored Fighting Suit Raptor. I had the full normal Raptor, but I'm becoming more of a fan of the two manipulator arms, like the raccoon and the prowler. And since I'm making a super prowler without, you know, like combining some of the grosse Hund arms in that, I don't need them anymore. So I decided, okay, I'll pop these on the Raptor and kind of give it a not really a rappoon that still has the sensors and everything, but this would not necessarily have a laser equipped, just the double manipulators. I just like that shape on it. And what I did was I was trying to figure out what colors to use, and I decided I needed to go with something that I haven't used before, just to see how the washes and how the final finish would look. So I chose the pink, and so I asked Link over Paint and Plastic, like, what is the Canon pink? And he told me what to mix, and then I started figuring out what my mix was going to be, and that was just going to be the white and the brown from Mr. Color. Couldn't really tell you the ratio. I kind of just was eyeballing it until it worked, and then that was just I wanted to go with the pink for this one. So backtrack for a second, is all the additions I did are just a few rivets, little small parts from my miscellaneous bin, a lot of wave rivet molds. I like using those a lot. I'll try to put a link down in the description, but those are definitely handy to have by. Like, have a few sets of those. Get some whenever they're in stock, wherever I can get them. I used acupuncture needles this time for the aerials in the back, kind of like a last spur of the moment when I wanted to add those. Looked kind of cool, but they are really good. They're a good gauge. You look at my Amazon list, you're going to find those listed there. They're very, I think they're great for this, and honestly, the price you pay for one box of those, that's antennas for the rest of your career. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really ever go over the sanding and filling. That's in a few other videos, and really it's just put some putty in, sand it down. The surface prep I did on this one, you'll see the texture is the same I've done for any of the other videos, so you just go and check that out. I'll put a link right there. And mainly I love putting together, like I've said before, just putting together any of the Maschinenkrieger suits, filling them, sanding them down just as base, putting them on a shelf, and then I can just grab them down like this. Like this whole build really only took me a couple days to get through. Like if I had just sat down and done it, it would have been a day and a half. Because the suit was already built and ready on the shelf, I just grabbed it. So that's something, a little tip if you want to do that. Save some space with your boxes. Unless you're keeping some around for possibly reselling later, because obviously once you build them, they're not. You can't oversell them again. All right. And one of the biggest things that I love about Maschinenkrieger is the ability to customize it completely, go nuts, no wrong answers. You can keep it canon, match the patterns. As long as you have a backstory behind it, even if you don't have a backstory behind it, but there's so much freedom to change just a little or to change everything. It's sometimes hard in the Gunpla, in Gundam, to change things when everything's so kind of strictly ordered. As these are what these things look like, here's these colors, clean this only, dirty this only. With Maschinenkrieger, I've seen it just go everywhere. Even if there's some rough spots left over, you still have a seam line in the back. It doesn't really matter sometimes. It's just sometimes the roughness is what adds to the character, and I find it so much more. I see so much more, I guess, artistry in the Maschinenkrieger when people put it together. Maybe it's also because they're a lot harder to find, so when you want to build it, you want to build it the best, instead of you know, being able to get a $15 high grade, and you know, there's not a lot of, there is incentive to do well as you per personal incentive, but there's, you can have a little, you can have a little less care, I think, with that. But these are, I don't know what it is. It's, I mean, the design themselves just lead to so many ideas, and you just want to, I mean, I just want to try anything I can on them. Any idea that comes to mind, I just want to try it. Sometimes just a little bit, but I will probably try to build one of these just 100% Canon, matching a color, when I start practicing more down the road. But never want to do it too normal, you know, rivet placement and all that. It's very fun because you can add just your own uniqueness, just with a few added rivets, a few, you know, round molds, a few small holes, even just a few scratches in certain areas. That even if you're using the same paint job, it'll be completely different and unique to you. That's what I like about it. That's the big thing, is the ability to each person, each suit, even if the same person is matching the same paint as someone else, it will be different, it will be unique. With Gundam, sometimes it's just, you match a paint, it looks the same. Sometimes I can't tell the difference between the two. You're just painting parts, shading, that there's not a lot of hand painting, there's not a lot of room for spontaneity and randomness and happy accidents in Gunpla. So that's why I'm loving Maschinenkrieger a lot more. So, yes.